Welcome into this episode of Coach's Corner. Jordan Woodruff with you. We're joined today by Wendy Landes from Cross Country, and this episode is brought to you by Sonic. Well, Coach, first time getting to talk to you this season, and it's almost gone. It's almost gone. But let's talk a little bit about how you guys have done this year as far as cross country is concerned.
A lot better than we had in previous years. We've had a lot more success finding out that we're getting some votes and some rankings from some other coaches in the area and kind of in our region. But it's been a pretty good season as far as how we're placing and how we're progressing to finding out where we go for regionals this Friday.
Yeah, and you got a couple of good anchors. That's one of the
do.
big keys always.
Yeah. Peyton Price is a freshman. She came in last year off of a really good junior high season and a really good summer, and she's continually placing for her second, top five in every race, running against her friends from Jinx and some different things that kind of keep driving her. And then Adam King is just a sophomore, returns from last year as one of our strong runners. This year has been kind of coming forward and coming into his own and doing some progression things. I think even is kind of surprising him.
Yeah,
so,
you got two runners here that are younger that we're talking about chance if they want to further their in the future they could probably be college cross country runners. These are really good athletes here.
Absolutely, and we come from not having very many seniors. J.C. Davis, being and Lauren King are my two senior girls, and Lauren runs track as well. JC just signed to run at SNU next year, so she's going to continue running there. And then I have some boys that probably won't continue running, but they've been pretty strong for us and on the team since they were freshmen. And so don't graduate many. Have a just a smaller, younger team. So
well, when you start having the top placers, top five finishers consistently, what does that do as far as pushing the other athletes, because that's really where it's at is you can have one, but you got to have more. What's it do as far as pushing them and maybe making the team better?
It does. When they see, someone younger having that success, they want to be, it for the girls especially, it's drag times down. In practice, Peyton likes to run, and she just haphazardly does her own thing, but the girls are staying with her, and we're seeing more successes placing as teams. Something that we haven't really done a lot in the past is, getting our names out there and people actually asking questions. We went to the Jamboree for the first time in a long time. I don't think we've been there since Coach Barron was actually in school. We hadn't been back to the Jamboree, and I was like, let's just go. So we put together some teams and went to the Jamboree, and there were 400 plus runners in the boys race, and Adam finishes 130th, and then Peyton finishes 31st out of 380. Wow. And when we took out the Texas schools, she was actually like the 9th female. And so they're just, they're kind of making a name. I have another freshman who didn't think she was a cross country runner until I told her she was. And so she's kind of beautiful. Hal's new to the game. She was a sprinter last year on track, and I was like, I don't think so. And I kind of stole her, and she's never looked back.
How rare is it to have a freshman having the success like this? Because naturally you're going to get better the longer and more you do it. So to have this success this early is a rarity, right?
It is, and she comes from a long line of it. Her mother was a college runner. Her dad runs. Her sister's one of my 6th graders having the same success, and I have a 1st grader that also runs. So they come from the whole family of runners, and so she's doing good, and I think she brings a positive energy to the team, and so that's what I like. But we're excited to find out where we go for regionals.
Well, that's the thing. Next up is let's talk about what is next, and that is regionals that are going to be coming up, and find out and see if you can't get qualified for state as well.
Yeah, we find out Friday. I'm probably going to lean more towards going back to Owasso. That's where they've sent us for the last few years. The other site would be Moore. Haven't ran that course in a long time. I'm leaning more towards, Coach Barron and the other coaches and I, Bonner and Campbell have decided we kind of want to just go back to where the familiar lies.
Yeah.
Adams ran there, Brody, Gabby, all of them have already ran there. And so the whole entire team, they don't really like that course. But we've ran there plenty of times that, whoever's on the regional team has familiarity with this, so we're excited about it.
Well, and talk about what it takes to get qualified for state as well.
So, yes. And so, with that, they take the top 7 teams automatically from each region, and then the next 7 runners not attached to one of those teams are the ones that go. And last year, Gabby had that success. We didn't go as a team, but Gabby got to sneak in there Adam got edged out last year, so we didn't take a boys team, and so we're kind of hoping this year we just have a plethora of younger runners. We have Grayson and all of those guys that are just young, and so hoping that they give the energy to kind of get us in there and get us through the door to get a team in.
Well, and that's the thing is, so what's the goal at the regional as far as what you want to get qualified? Both teams get qualified for state, right?
We want both teams to go. Like that would be the first time that's happened in years. When Cassie and Victor ran, I think that they were so used to taking those teams, but we haven't taken a full team since I've been a coach here, and so that's always been my goal, is to get more than one runner. We take a runner a year, it seems like. When Bert went, and then Mason and all those, we just kept taking one or two. But I want to take a whole team. I think that would be
in the regional too. I mean, they try to balance them out, but that's the other thing is it's tough, especially when you got boys and girls together to get that balance, because we can see a regional that's maybe a little top heavy, and all of a sudden you got three, that are the best teams, and you have, 7 or 8 teams fighting for those last 4 spots, right?
And when you have like the Deer Creeks and the Edmonds all show up at one spot, it's just kind of, you want to, and you wish that they would spread them out, but then you look at the other side and you have the Yukons and the Unions, and so 6A is a tough cross country region. I mean, they get out and they get going, and so either side we go, we're going to see the competition that I want for our team. That's going to drive us to get the times that we want. Because if I can say anything for this team, they are very determined. That's the first year I can actually say that there's so many out there that want to do better and that want to get better, and so their goals every week change, to kind of accommodate that.
And speaking of getting better, early on, I talked to you like when the season was kind of starting up. We were having rain and some weather. It's been hot, first and foremost, but at the same time, we haven't really had rain, hadn't had really a lot of wind, any of that. So there's been a lot of time to work for the most part the last month and a half, right?
Yes, and we've hit them hard. We've hit them with some structured workouts where we're hitting all sets, anaerobic, aerobic, hills. I mean, we're doing everything with them, keeping them stretched out, teaching them the actual fundamentals of hydration, and they're responding. And I think that their bodies are responding as far as and they can tell you, it's because I drank a pop today. They'll come in and tell you why and so, but they can justify it, and then we move past it and keep going. But we haven't had the issues from before where we had the rainouts and we had the missed meets and we couldn't practice here, and having the indoors always that backup that we have now. We haven't had to use it, but we always have that track inside there now, so it's kind of nice having those things available to us.
All right, so we'll find out regional pairings Friday.
We find out Friday, yep.
And when are the regionals next week, right?
The 25th, and then states on. Well, it's the weekend of Halloween, so.
All right, let's get there and have a spooky cross country Halloween.
That's
How about
exactly
that? And with state, naturally, we want to see some people qualify. We want to get the teams qualified, but the state's the week after. What day is that?
It's November 1st, that Saturday.
So it's a Saturday.
Yeah. So we usually go down on Friday when we get it, and so they'll be able to run the course before.
Usually, there'll probably be the culture shock or the weather shock because it's been nice, and that'll probably be the day it's rainy and 52 degrees.
And it's usually cold. So we're used to wearing shorts and t-shirts, and that's the one time we're like, oh, we forgot the hoodies.
But if you're doing it, everybody else is too.
And the thing about it is they love it. The colder the better. That's what they want. They want to run when it's cold. So I don't. I disagree.
What I've always learned, especially in the sports that are very mental inclined, like cross country, there's athleticism too, but if you go and win it, it's at fault.
Yes.
It's the fault. But if you lose it, it's the fault as well, because it's your mental.
Hydration, weather, wind, heat.
Right. So that's how it works. Hey, appreciate the time. Best of luck, and hopefully we can talk again after the season wraps up, and maybe with some state placers.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Wendy, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Wendy Landes, that's going to do it for today's episode of Coach's Corner. Thanks to Chris behind the camera as always. Jordan Woodruff saying so long, and until next time, go Cats.